Hare Krishna. Well, often people tell me some people can't use a translator. They do that. So we've all been hearing they speak in English or Hindi. So we're very fortunate this year. We are celebrating the 46th anniversary of the installation of the deities and the opening of this temple.
We are very fortunate that we are celebrating 46th anniversary of the inauguration of Shri Radha Rasabihari temple.
We have so many senior devotees present for this occasion.
We have so many senior devotees who are present for this occasion.
We want to thank all of them for coming to this program. We want to thank all of them for coming.
We want to thank all of them for coming for this program.
We know how Prabhupada struggled to realize the Hare Krishna.
We know how Srila Prabhupada struggled to acquire this land.
Prabhupada had a strong desire that Krishna fulfilled it.
Prabhupada had strong desire that Krishna fulfilled.
I've seen in many places Prabhupada desired something, the devotees endeavored, they were successful.
I have seen many times whatever Prabhupada desired and devotees endeavor, they'll get success.
Because he was a pure devotee coming down from the spiritual world.
Because Prabhupada was a pure devotee coming out of spiritual world.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had predicted the holy name will be chanted every town and village of the world.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has predicted that holy names will be chanted all over the world in every town and village.
So someone had to come to realize that prediction.
Someone has to come to realize, to make that prediction true.
That was Srila Prabhupada.
That was Srila Prabhupada.
He took his Guru's orders very seriously. Actually, in 1922, when one of Prabhupada's friends said, "Come, I want you to meet a very special saint," Prabhupada refused.
In 1922, Prabhupada's friend took him to Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Swami.
He asked him to come to meet a great saint. Prabhupada said, "I'm not interested."
So Prabhupada's friend asked him in 1922 to come and meet a great saint. Prabhupada said, "No, I'm not interested."
But he insisted. Prabhupada said, "He actually dragged me to meet Bhaktisiddhanta."
Prabhupada said, "My friend dragged me to Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur."
And in the very first meeting, Bhaktisiddhanta could see that he is the man who can fulfill Lord Chaitanya's prediction.
And in the very first meeting, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur could see that he is the man who could fulfill the desire of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
We should realize that Prabhupada was not like any other saint or sadhu.
We should realize that Prabhupada was not against the saint or a sadhu.
He was a very special personality, empowered by the Lord to take the holy name to every corner of the globe.
He was very special soul, empowered by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to take holy name to every town and village.
Usually we see in India the pattern that when the founder Acharya passes away, everything begins to dwindle.
Usually we see in India, when the founder Acharya passes away, everything begins to dwindle.
But in ISKCON, it's the opposite.
But in ISKCON, it is opposite.
I explain this to many. I've explained this to many people, and they're amazed how ISKCON keeps expanding after Prabhupada's departure.
I have explained this to many people how ISKCON has kept expanding after Prabhupada's passing away.
The Hare Krishna land was Prabhupada's dream project.
Hare Krishna land was Prabhupada's dream project.
Prabhupada carried Radha Rasabihari's picture with him everywhere.
Prabhupada carried Radha Rasabihari's picture everywhere.
He spent more time in Hare Krishna land, Bombay, than any other project in ISKCON.
He spent more time in Hare Krishna land, Bombay, than any other project in ISKCON.
Prabhupada wanted something unique in Bombay.
Prabhupada wanted something unique in Bombay.
Actually, he said, "This is the gateway of India. You establish a preaching in Bombay, it can spread everywhere."
He said, this is the gateway of India. If you establish preaching here, it will expand to entire India.
Prabhupada's connection with Bombay goes back to 1935.
Prabhupada's connection to Bombay goes back to 1935.
At that time, Prabhupada was doing his business, and the Gaudiya Math were trying to open a center.
That time Prabhupada was doing his business in Bombay and Gaudiya Math devotees were trying to open a center here.
Bhakti-Siddhanta Ji had come to Bombay in 1935 to install the deity.
Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur came to Bombay in 1935 to install the deities.
Prabhupada was actively helping the three sannyasis who came from the Gaudiya Math.
Prabhupada was helping these sannyasis who came from Gaudiya Math.
So when Bhaktisiddhanta Ji came to Bombay, the other sannyasi said, Abhay Babu was working so hard, why don't you make him the temple president here?
When Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur came to Bombay, the sannyasis told him that Abhay Babu is working so hard, why don't you make him temple president here?
And Bhaktisiddhanta said, no, let him remain where he is.
So Bhaktisiddhanta said, no, let him be where he is.
Prabhupada was there in 1935, and he also later on was in Bombay when he came to meet Srimati Maharaji.
And Prabhupada again came to Bombay when he came to see Srimati Murarji.
It's at that time that Prabhupada has seen the Hare Krishna land.
And this is that time when Prabhupada saw this Hare Krishna land.
So Prabhupada wanted the atmosphere to be heaven on earth.
Prabhupada saw this atmosphere as heaven on earth.
What is the real beauty of a temple?
What is the real beauty of our temple?
Of any temple?
Of any temple?
The architectural design and the building.
The architectural design
And the building.
and the building.
The real treasure is
But the real treasure is
the Vaishnava behavior of the sadhus.
the Vaishnava behavior of the sadhus.
Those of us who live in the project should aim to achieve, to practice the principles of purity strictly.
So devotees should practice the pure principles.
Strictly. And the congregation to be active also in becoming Krishna conscious and making others Krishna conscious.
Congregation also should be very active in becoming Krishna conscious and making others Krishna conscious.
We have seen over the years that the congregation will play a big role and help in expanding the movement.
We have seen in many years congregation has played a big role in expanding our movement.
Bombay Hare Krishna land is the address of two entities.
Bombay Hare Krishna land is the address of the two entities.
One is ISKCON and one is BBT.
One is ISKCON and other is BBT.
BBT had its headquarters in Bombay, Indian headquarters in Bombay.
BBT has its Indian headquarters in Bombay.
I had once in 1976 arranged for a display of Prabhupada's books in a bookstore called International Book House.
Once I arranged the display of Srila Prabhupada's books in 1976 in a store called International Book House.
This is an International Book House, a very reputed shop, a very reputed company.
This International Book House was a very reputed shop.
They had a very big showroom in downtown Bombay.
They had a very big showroom in downtown Bombay.
So for a month, the books were prominently displayed. Not many books moved.
So for a month, these books were prominently displayed there, but not many books were sold.
So I went to Prabhupada in Bombay and said, Prabhupada, we tried out. The results were not very good.
And I told Prabhupada that we tried our best, but books are not going.
Prabhupada said, my books are distributed because of the enthusiasm of my disciples.
Prabhupada said, my books are distributed by the enthusiasm of my disciples.
And the shops, the salesmen don't have that mood.
And these shops and their salesmen doesn't have that mood.
We should be enthusiastic and serving Krishna.
We should be enthusiastic in serving Krishna.
At that time, our professional accountants were giving us advice. Why don't you set up a trust which has charitable clauses and we can get tax exemption for donors.
That time our professional accountant, he suggested, why don't you have a charitable clause, and that will also help you in getting some tax exemption.
So set a research institute up. Establish a research institute.
He wanted us to establish an institute.
We were advised that we should form a research institute.
We were advised to form a research institute
to get the donors' tax benefits.
To get the donors' tax benefit.
Why Vedic research? Vyasadeva has done all the research. We don't need to do any more.
Why we need research? Prabhupada said, why we need to do research? Vyasadeva has done all the research. We don't have to do any research.
Prabhupada was very compassionate.
Prabhupada was very compassionate.
So one day, 1 o'clock in the night, he called me and said, I have prepared this advertisement. Go tomorrow to all the papers and tell them to publish it.
I have prepared?
Yeah, Prabhupada had prepared an advertisement.
So Prabhupada, one night, Prabhupada called me and he said, I have prepared an advertisement. Go to all the newspapers tomorrow and tell them to publish.
And what was the advertisement?
And what was the advertisement?
Come and live with us like us.
Come and live with us like us.
Prabhupada said, I will feed all of India.
I will feed all over India.
I said, Prabhupada, how will you do that?
I said, Prabhupada, how will you do that?
He said, the catch is like us. They have to agree to live like us.
Prabhupada said, the catch is like us. If you agree, then you live like us.
In other words, chant 16 hours, follow 4 regular principles, and then we'll be able to take care of all of you.
Chant 16 rounds, follow 4 regular principles, and then we'll be able to take care of you.
So, I went to the newspapers the next day, but nobody was ready to present this news in a paper.
So I went to newspapers, agencies next day, but not many were ready to publish this.
Actually, the Russian preaching has a connection with Bombay also.
Which preaching?
Russian.
Russian preaching also has connection with Bombay.
Because it was in the Bombay BBT's address that the first inquiry from the Soviet Union, which was communistic at that time, came to BBT Bombay.
Because the first inquiry about the books came to BBT Bombay for...
the Russian government wrote a letter to us, BBT. Please send us your catalog of books and how we can obtain them.
Russian government sent the request to BBT Bombay, please send us your catalog and we'll buy the books.
So I showed this to Prabhupada in Mayapur. The letter came to Bombay, but somebody brought it over and showed it to Prabhupada in Mayapur.
I told this to Srila Prabhupada in Mayapur.
Prabhupada said, send them the catalog at once. They are inquiring about our books.
Prabhupada said, send them the catalog of our books immediately, at once.
Prabhupada told me then to go to the Soviet Union.
Prabhupada told me to go to the Soviet Union.
And Prabhupada's books got placed and they were translated. Now it's one of the biggest yatras in ISKCON.
And Prabhupada's books were being displayed in the exhibition.
Yeah, and become one of the biggest yatras in ISKCON. So Prabhupada was a very special man.
Prabhupada was very special man.
Once Prabhupada was asked a question about his spiritual master.
Once he was asked question on his spiritual master.
Prabhupada said, he was a Vaikuntha man, what can I say?
Prabhupada said, he was a Vaikuntha man, what can I say?
So Prabhupada, our Prabhupada was also a Vaikuntha man.
So our Prabhupada is also a Vaikuntha man.
And we have to have full faith that everything that we need to know is there in Prabhupada's books.
We need to have full faith that anything and everything we need to know is there in Prabhupada's books.
Sometimes we may get questions, we read that, we can read that. I say, first read Prabhupada's books, once, twice, thrice, then think of reading other acharyas.
Sometimes we have tendency to read other books, Acharya's books, but I say read Prabhupada's books first, once, twice, thrice, and then look for other books.
You can virtually get an answer to any question if you go through Prabhupada's BVD folio.
First you get all the questions answered in Prabhupada's books.
So I'll stop at this point. I want to thank once again the senior devotees over here. And we want to thank the congregation that is in the audience. And let's work together to spread Krishna consciousness for the pleasure of Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Srila Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaja ki.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare